Don't get in my way now.
Welcome back to the GSTL, where Tails has actually put a little bit more hope onto the team bench for his team MVP.
Yeah, for a second he was able to... Oops. This thing is gonna kill me one day. He was able to get back into the game and took the win over Parting, and right now we have Sparta as his opponent. If you just look at the statistics for Sparta, this decision doesn't make any sense at all, because Sparta has played 10 televised matches against Protoss and he was able to win 2. Hold your breath. 1. So he has a 10% win ratio in this matchup, but the thing is, the last game that he actually played in this matchup is like more than 4 months old. So it's absolutely not relevant. The data is not conclusive at all.
He's not even on the same team he once was. Now he's living in a real...
That's the fun part. Yeah. Guess who's the last player he faced and to whom he lost?
Was it his teammate or something?
Parting.
Oh, wow.
Now he has to avenge Parting, and it's so funny. Last time that he faced the Protoss player in a televised match, it was Parting, and Parting won.
Really funny. Well, we'll see what he can do here. Obviously, the choice is not a bad one. It's just one that we don't have the insight to know why it was made.
Yeah, we don't have any idea about how much they trained for this matchup, how good Sparta is in this matchup. So he will have to prove it right now. So let's see what he can do against Tails. Yeah, the GSTL. StarTale still up against MVP. This is gonna change. We'll find out right now. To the left side of the map, once more in pink is the StarTale player. Is it madness? No, it is!
StarTale, Sparta!
Production was ready for that one, man.
Yeah, they were.
The booth going like they're just like pressing with 2 fingers perfectly.
There we have him. To the right side of the map is his opponent here on Antigua Shipyard. Was able to take down Parting. It is, of course,
MVP, KJ!
Not Knuckles, Dr. Robotnik, Big the Cat, Cream, or Rose.
As Soccer would say, Protoss! It's just, if you hang out with the German Protoss players, with the Hazovs, with the Soccer and a few others, Naniwa tells this story all the time because he was there as well. It's just someone comes at the after party, Soccer and Hazovs will randomly just start shouting Protoss with the really weirdest pronunciation ever, and it's become kind of a running gag. You can see it on Twitter.
I can imagine this.
You can see it actually on Twitter. Sometimes when Protoss is doing really well, Dark Force, who plays Zerg, is starting to troll them by just writing this one word in caps the entire time. Protoss! Because Protoss players, especially the German ones, are always a little bit complaining. It's half trolling, half being serious, and they just diss each other all the time. So that's where it originated. It's really funny.
That actually does sound pretty funny. Like, I can just imagine it so perfectly.
You know, Soccer with his long hair, always in shorts. It's like this perfect composition. And then him standing there, a little bit tipsy, a little bit drunk, raising his arms, both of them, and just shouting it. It's priceless.
I don't know if he has pants.
Huh?
Sokka. I've only seen him in shorts, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, right now we have Antigua Shipyard for this map, and I guess this is a map where we can see so many different styles. We already have the command center for Sparta, so we know that he's not going for one base all in. But this is one of the maps where he could definitely execute it, and where we've seen so many Protoss players fall. Sparta is using a different style here. No gas so far, just going into a standard 1 barracks into expand with a bunk on the low ground. And it's going to be interesting to see how exactly Tails is going to play this. He currently has the second gate already coming up.
Is he going to eBay block this Nexus? No, he just wants to hide the SCV.
Just trying to scout here.
This is actually really interesting. We didn't talk about it just yet, but Tails is going for 2 gate before Nexus. This allows him to control the map really well. And if he wants to, he can force one of his units up the ramp to see if there's a command center there or not.
Oh, he's building 2 additional gates. Look at that.
Okay.
Not really what I expected, but whatever works.
You know, he chrono boosted his warp gate research, but he didn't do it like the way you would do it to 4 gate necessarily. With only 1 bunker, if he's able to hide this and just run in and slam it down with 2 waves of Stalker shots, then he'll be able to take the game.
Yeah, the big question, of course, now is how will Sparta react? He saw with the SCV already that we don't have any kind of expansion, and he has the SCV still on the map. He's trying to sneak it in once more.
He's got 2 SCVs to try to sneak in, so no matter what, he's like, I'm checking. But if he kills... Oh, wow. If he sees all 4 Stalkers, he saw them all. The thing is, yeah, he didn't see the gateways, but he sees that many Stalkers, he's probably thinking, well, there's at least 2. He immediately starts a second bunker.
Yeah. Uh-oh. But still,
indeed.
I mean, this is already pretty far into the match, so at this point he really needs to make sure that he has defense. He doesn't even have enough Marines to man 2 bunkers, so he has only 7. He needs those as fast as possible, and of course he needs the SCVs as well. Second bunker is done. 2 are there already. More and more Marines are being built. It's not going to be easy for Tails.
Triple barracks. As soon as that depot finishes, he can even start Marauders. Time is of the essence. He needs to attack as soon as possible, but he needs a pylon, he needs another round of warpments. He's going to make a sentry now.
And another gate.
SCVs are totally ready for this. No Marauder production, just continue with Marines only right now. I mean, this could still work. It's going to take perfect force fields. And the longer he waits, the more units are going to be out for the Terran. He could even start a 3rd bunker if he really wanted to.
The SCVs are ready. I actually feel like a 3rd bunker would not be a bad choice here.
Yeah, I think so
Better
too.
safe than sorry. And at this point, you know that your opponent's expansion, if he builds one, is so much later than yours. So why not get the extra safety here?
He's making a 5th gateway. That is...
Yeah. I feel like another bunker would definitely have been a good idea. Now here comes the Guardian Shield. He's moving in. The rest of the SCVs is already off the mineral line. They try to repair. Oh, they just saved the bunker for another round of shots. But there are so many units right now.
Yeah, the force shields are blocking actually that bunker. And now if he targets the Marines well with the extra gateway he built, he should be able to break through. Stim is not going to be dying. Doesn't have any Marauders. He needs to just go up the ramp and fight.
The rest of the SCVs is now coming from the main base. Stim will never be done in time. And MVP Tails is taking a massive lead here. There are only 8 Marines left. That's all she wrote.
This game is over. He takes down the last Marines and he is going to walk up the ramp.
Wolf, can you explain one thing to me? Why on earth would you not build the bunker?
I don't understand it myself. GG. I think the 3rd bunker, yeah, maybe you can get away with skipping that, but do you really want to risk it?
Why would you risk it? You can salvage the bunker later. It's 100 minerals. You have 2 bases. You know that your opponent at this point doesn't really have his 2nd base, so why not invest into a 3rd bunker? Why be so greedy?
I mean, the only thing he gains out of not making the bunker is maybe he gets his factory up a little bit faster. He's got those extra minerals. He wasn't going to lose any production out of his barracks from doing that. He had enough minerals to produce out of 3 barracks. He didn't even make Marauders. He didn't even try to do that.
This was more Sparta losing the game than Tails winning it.
I like Killer was about to do something special. Like he called him over there, but he just wanted to talk to him. He wasn't going to do a ceremony with him. Well, this puts now StarTale in a less than comfortable position.
Well, StarTale has to bring some big guns right now. They know that they are now on even terms with MVP. Both teams have 3 points. And I'm really disappointed. I mean, Sparta sees it. He builds a 2nd bunker. All the units are on low ground. He can just stand down an SCV if he's not sure about how many units there are. He can use a scan if he wants to. He has 2 command centers. So if he's not sure if there's an expansion, I mean, by the amount of units that he saw, he has to know there is no expansion for my opponent. If he's not sure of it, then he can use the scan or whatever. But why not? He can't salvage that damn thing.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, I mean,
it's like Zerg players against the 11-11 not building the spine crawler.
It's a matter of, I think I can hold without it. And it's like you said, it's greedy. It's not necessary. But when you play like this, sometimes you get burned, man. You step too close to the sun. That's what he did. He paid for it. Now he's allowed Tails to get 2 all-in victories.
Is this Whirlwind coming up?
Yes.
Yeah, Whirlwind. So, life or curious?
Life. Things are serious now. Life.
If they use a Zerg player, I think they're going to use... Well, we'll find out. Life still sitting to the top left. Curious. I'm not seeing it right now. Yes, there it is. Life.
This guy is... Everybody is talking about him in Korea right now. Everybody.
Well, not only in Korea.
Yeah, that's true. I just mean that, like... You know, people are talking... A lot of foreigners talking about how good Rain is and how, you know, how well he's doing it, myself included. But in Korea, Life is dominating the chatter. Everybody is talking about how this guy is suddenly just come out of nowhere. I mean, that's not actually true. He didn't come out of nowhere, but now he's doing just tremendously better than he even was before. He was never a bad player, but he is so good right now. A lot of people think he's going to make it to the finals.
Yeah, he himself said earlier that GSTL win this season. Easy. Of course, joking a little bit. But Average Twins 1.8 was one of the strongest players in the lineup of Xenex.
Yes, and he has shown a lot of all-ins, fast lair tech. He's a scary opponent. He's actually similar to Tails in the way he can play.
He just doesn't get around. The first Code A game that he played last season, he ended the whole best of 3, I think, in 11 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that was like real-time minutes, like not Blizzard minutes.
It was crazy. It was really crazy. He's like, well, why should I waste my time with a macro game if I know exactly that with what I do right now, I'm going to take the game within just a few seconds. So this guy is so good. He doesn't waste any time. He thinks about what he does. He analyzes what's going on in his opponent's base. And he's also practicing a lot at the StarTale house right now. He's actually one of those players that sometimes slacks a little bit off. I talked to the StarTale coach about it, and he's always... His teammates and basically the team spirit that they have at the StarTale, that's what it always keeps him going. But that was, of course, back when he was still trying to get into Code S. Right now, it's a lot more motivating, I think, if you are this far in the Code S to and actually just heading towards the finals.
When you're heading towards the finals, you feel like you are just it's like you're going downhill. Really.
Yeah.
You've already done the hard parts, the scary parts, where you might be out of the GSL, you might be in Code A again. Then you're like, all right, well now it's just win or lose. Am I the best? Am I going to be the best player in the world? You know, I mean, not being just with Code A champion doesn't necessarily make you the best player in the world, but it's like the most prestigious StarCraft 2 tournament. Can I win this and have that trophy and have my picture on the wall?
By the way, with the maps, we have 2 maps left. We talked a little bit about the map choices, and now we have Whirlwind. This is the map that Life chose against his opponent, against Tails. It's a big map, and the 2 maps that are left are Daybreak and Cloud Kingdom. Both good maps for a Zerg player facing a Terran player. It's okay, and Tiga is already out, so that's definitely not going to be a problem for him later on.
Who do you think they use, just food for thought, if Life loses?
I think if Life loses, we are going to see Squirtle.
Squirtle or Curious, but I think Squirtle as well. I mean, he has a lot of high-pressure experience. He knows PvP really well, and then he is also good in the other matchups, so he's a great all-around player to use in this type of situation. I would not be surprised to see that.
Yeah, Squirtle, he did not really do as well at ISF as we thought he would. He was a little bit disappointed with his own performance. In the end, he lost to the winner of the tournament. He lost to Monchi, the Austrian player. But I fear that it's going to be a Squirtle if Life is taken out by either Tails or the last player for Team MVP. Currently we're waiting for Life, by the way, so I'm not quite sure. Oh, actually I got a peek of the 4th player of StarTale.
Well, I'm not gonna...
It's not on screen, right? No, you can actually see them.
I'm looking now? No.
Do you want to know?
No, I don't want to know.
Why?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know, man.
Yeah, okay, I'm not telling.
I'm like, shh. Shh. Well,
yeah.
For some reason, the StarTale player has not joined the lobby.
I guess Life is just setting up right now.
Yeah, I'm like looking through the chat, and it's like all the chat was like in the Korean Observer talking about how he's hungry. I'm like, well, that's not a useful clue. Yeah, I'm sure you're right. He probably had to go into a custom game and check his settings.
There we go.
He's ready now.
Live joined lobby, and therefore we are ready to go. Whirlwind, a pretty huge map. I'm a little bit curious to what Tails is going to do. I mean, if you are Tails and you are facing live now, I would not go into a straight-up game. Why would you do that? That's a game that you will most likely lose, where you know from the beginning that you are not on the same level as your opponent. So why not go for a tricky build and some kind of a build order win? That's the only thing that, in my opinion, he should go for here.
You know, something to think about is that Tails is kind of like he's one of the masters of just playing builds that he's like one of the masters of all-ins. He just does builds that are like, all right, well, here we go. I'm gonna 2-gate proxy you, or I'm gonna cannon rush you, or I'm gonna 4-gate you, and I'm gonna do it well.
Yeah.
I do these builds all the time. Life is similar in that regard. So we could have a funny game here where we have two players being very aggressive early on. That's likely not going to be the case on Whirlwind, though. It's too big.
The thing is, it's not like Tails is bad, but Life is currently in probably he's in his prime when it comes down to his performance in StarCraft 2.
Well, we'll see if Life can pull StarTale back ahead here. This is Whirlwind. Life versus Tails, cast by Counterwolf here at the GSTL.